Greetings, everybody. This is part two to restoring the Creator's holy calendar, to restoring the time, to restoring the feast, restoring everyone back to their possession, back to their heritage, and back to their truth. This is the truth which is being shared to the Hebrew Israelites, the Gentiles that would love to convert and become part of the family, and the Christians that forgot that these laws still apply to them as well if they want to enter into our Hebrew Israelite gates and to meet our Father, which is the Father of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Moses, Joseph, and Noah, Shem. So we're gonna go ahead and continue on with our reading. If you haven't seen part one, please see part one first, because we explain in detail how everything started, how the laws began. We're still on the laws right now. We're learning about the feast. We've been taking notes, so we have this much up so far. We've learned about the Sabbath laws. 6 days thou shalt work. This is the weekly Sabbath, and plant food and gardens and seeds during that six days. And by the seventh day, the seventh year, we take a rest. We've learned about the 3 yearly feasts, which is the feast of first fruits. We also learn about the feast of unleavened bread and the feast of ingathering, which happens in the end of the year after we gather every thing from our field at the end of the year. We've also learned the things we're supposed to be doing on that day and what we're not supposed to be doing that day. How Moses pretty much began the altar sacrifice and offerings, and there's necessarily we only learned about 2 offerings right now: the burnt offerings, and sacrifice peace offerings of oxen. And we learned how Moses spread the blood on the sprinkled the blood on the altar, and he took the book of the covenant and he read to the people, and the people agreed to all the laws and everything. Then he sprinkled the blood on them, and then Moses went and seen the Creator 40 days, 40 nights, yada yada yada. He built the altar on top of Mount Sinai, where he met up with the Creator, pure white light, and the Creator told him the offerings for the tabernacle, how to build the tabernacle, which is the tent and everything, in a place of worship, and the Ark of the Covenant, which would be the gold utensils and the instruments that they're using with the cherubim on it to put the testament in. We've also learned about the mercy seat, which will be where the testament is at and where both of the angels are looking in the center. We've learned about the table of showbread and making the tree out of out of shittim wood, which will be a kind of acacia tree. We've learned also about the golden lampstand, and that brings us up to now. So let's go ahead. Exodus 26, section 1. The 10 curtains of the tabernacle. So remember what the tabernacles look like. Let me see. Get a picture. So the 10 curtains of the tabernacle. Moreover, thou shalt make the tabernacle with 10 curtains of fine twined linen. So the tabernacle should be made with 10 curtains of fine twined linen. Let me put this here. And blue, and purple, and scarlet, with cherubims of cunning work shalt thou make them. The length of one curtain shall be 8 and 20 cubits. So 8 and 20 cubits. And the breadth of one curtain 4 cubits. And every one of the curtains shall have one measure. The 5 curtains shall be coupled together one to another. So the 5 curtains shall be coupled together one to another, and other 5 curtains shall be coupled one to another. And thou shalt make loops of blue upon the edge of the one curtain from the sevel edge, and the coupling. And likewise shalt thou make in the uttermost edge of another curtain, and the coupling of the second. 50 loops shalt thou make in the one curtain, and 50 loops shalt thou make in the edge of the curtain that is in the coupling of the second, that the loops may take hold one of another. And thou shalt make 50 taches of gold, and couple the curtains together with the taches, and it shall be one tabernacle. So the taches are probably to keep it down to the ground, and the loops and the knots are to tie it up on the top. So we're tying them together to form the tent. So I hope you got the picture in your head. This is everything we're supposed to be doing on some of these Sabbath days and some of these times. Not all of them, but some. The 11 curtains of goat's hair. And thou shalt make curtains of goat's hair to be a covering upon the tabernacle. 11 curtains shalt thou make. Pardon me. All right. So 11 curtains shalt thou make. The length of one curtain shall be 30 cubits, and the breadth of one curtain 4 cubits. And the 11 curtains shall be all of one measure, and thou shalt couple 5 curtains by themselves, and 6 curtains by themselves, and shalt double the 6th curtain and the forefront of the tabernacle. And thou shalt make 50 loops on the edge of the one curtain that is outmost in the coupling, and 50 loops in the edge of the curtain which coupleth the second. And coupleth mean together, bonded. And thou shalt make 50 taches of brass, and put the taches into the loops, and couple the tent together, that it may be one. And the remnant that remaineth of the curtains of the tent, the half curtain that remaineth, shall hang over the backside of the tabernacle, and a cubit of the one side, and a cubit on the other side of that which remaineth in the length of the curtains of the tent. It shall hang over the sides of the tabernacle on this side and on that side to cover it. And thou shalt make a covering for the tent of rams, skins dyed red, and a covering above of badgers' skins. So this is what the Creator is telling us to do, how to make it. The tabernacle, pardon me. The boards and sockets. And thou shalt make boards for the tabernacle of shittim wood standing up. 10 cubits shall be the length of a board. While you're hearing this, you should write it down to draw a picture of it. And a cubit and a half shall be the breadth of one board. 2 tenons shall there be in one board. And if you don't know what tenons is, look that up. Set in order one against another. Thus shalt thou make for all the boards of the tabernacle. And thou shalt make the boards for the tabernacle, 20 boards on the south side, southward. And thou shalt make 40 sockets of silver under the 20 boards. 2 sockets under one board for his 2 tenons, and 2 sockets under another board for his 2 tenons. Let's go ahead and look up what a tenons is. What is a tenon? I see. Also, a tenon's like that little slit thing made out of shittim wood. I see. Let's see how it looks like over here. Alright, so this is supposed to connect it. Alright, I see what they're saying. So another board for his two tenons. So two sockets which would be getting inserted into. So, and thou shalt make 40 sockets of silver under the 20 boards, 2 sockets under one board for his two tenons, and 2 sockets under another board for his two tenons. And for the second side of the tabernacle, on the north side, there shall be 20 boards. Bless you. And there 40 sockets of silver. So 40 sockets on the north and south. 2 sockets under one board, and 2 sockets under another board again. And for the sides of the tabernacle westward, thou shalt make 6 boards. So north and south 24 boards. The west is 6 boards so far. And 2 boards shall also thou make for the corners of the tabernacle and the 2 sides. Pardon me, guys. Gotta grab up my beautiful daughter. Mwah. And for the second side of the tabernacle, on the north side, there shall be 20 boards. Alright, so 20 boards on the north side. $20 boards on, pardon me, let me see. And 20 boards on the south side. 20 boards for the south side. 20 boards for the north side. On the west side, thou shalt make 6 boards, and 2 boards shalt thou make for the corners of the tabernacle, and the 2 sides. And they shall be coupled together beneath, and they shall be coupled together above the head of it, unto one ring. Thus shall it be for them both. They shall be for the 2 corners, so that would be west and east, the 2 corners, coupled together beneath. 2 sockets under one board, and 2 sockets under another board. So, and they shall be 8 boards, and their sockets of silver, 16 sockets, 2 sockets under one board, and 2 sockets under another board. And thou shalt make bars of shittim wood, 5 for the boards of the one side of the tabernacle. So 5 for the boards of the one side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the boards of the other side of the tabernacle. I'm going to save this. So this is going to take some studying to decode. So 5 bars for the boards of the side of the tabernacle, for the 2 sides westward. So let's read that again. And thou shalt make bars of shittim wood, 5 for the boards of the one side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the boards of the other side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the boards of the side of the tabernacle, for the 2 sides westward. And the middle bar in the midst of the boards shall reach from end to end. And thou shalt overlay the boards with gold, and make their rings of gold for places for the bars. And thou shalt overlay the bars with gold. And thou shalt rear up the tabernacle according to the fashion thereof, which was showed thee in the mount. So therefore, we're going to have to lift this all up now and put it into place. So I'm saving that as well. Alright, so the veil for the ark. And thou shalt make a veil of blue and purple and scarlet, and fine twined linen, of cunning work, with cherubims shall it be made. And thou shalt hang it upon the 4 pillars of shittim wood, overlaid with gold. Their hooks shall be of gold. upon the four sockets of silver. So silver and gold is very, very powerful in doing healings and stuff like that. And thou shalt hang up the veil under the taches, and thou mayest bring in thither within the veil the ark of the testimony. And the veil shall divide unto you between the holy place and the most holy. And thou shalt put the mercy seat upon the ark of the testimony. Because remember, the mercy seat is in the middle of the ark of the covenant with the cherubim and stuff, and they're looking towards the center. So in that center, let me see. Okay, there'll be an ark of the testimony in the middle where the cherubim's looking. And thou shalt put the mercy seat upon the ark of the testimony, which is in the middle, and the most holy place, the center. The center is the spot. And thou shalt set the table without the veil, and the candlestick over against the table, over against the table, on the side of the tabernacle toward the south. And thou shalt put the table on the north side. So let's see our little picture again. So the altar's here, tabernacle's there. And we have, hold on, we got a picture of some of these new pictures. Let's see where they at. All praises to the Most High for decoding all this stuff to me, showing me the vision. All right. Bada bing, bada boom. Alright, let's continue this on. Let me see how this one looks. Love you, Naima. Alright, we just gotta give it a little sec. Alright. So these are all the covenants, the picture of how everything's supposed to be set. Go ahead and move on to this one, see what's up. So as you can see, the Ark of the Covenant's right here. There goes 4 pillars. The tabernacle tent just laying flat right there. It's supposed to be gold, purple, and silver. And yeah, you're gonna have to set that all up by yourself, because I'm just gonna decode to you everything, and then you can go ahead and do what you want to do with it. So okay, so the candlestick over against the table on the side of the tabernacle toward the south, and thou shalt put the table on the north side. The curtain for the door, and thou shalt make an hanging for the door of the tent of blue and purple and scarlet and fine twined linen wrought with needlework, which means you got to do this all with your hand. All this got to be done by your own hand. You have 6 days to do this. 6 days before the 7th day, sometimes a couple of, well, you don't really have more. Man, you get what I'm saying. Like, you have 6 days to work, in the 7th to celebrate this stuff and have this already set up. So the second apartment, the first apartment, the second apartment would be where the ark is at, west, and south would be the second compartment, which would be the altar of incense, the golden lampstand, and the table of shone bread. The lever is out here, and the burnt offering is towards the east, is outside. So that would be a setup of how it would look. So the curtain for the door, made out of blue and purple and scarlet, with fine twined linen, wrought with needlework, And thou shalt make for the hanging 5 pillars of shittim wood, and overlay them with gold, and their hooks shall be of gold. And thou shalt cast 5 sockets of brass for them. So let's go ahead and put this right here. So we already got that. That's good. All right, let's continue. Hold on 1 second, guys. Hope you guys are learning a lot from this video, because this is very informative. I'm just reading the parts that is relative to this video that I'm making, to show you what's the time and what's the feast, how things were created and everything like that. This is almost like everything in one. I'm not going to be telling you everything, but there's things that stand out that I will tell you, and I'll tell you as much as I can tell you on this video. Alright, let's continue. Exodus 27, the bronze altar. So let me go ahead and save this, because I know this is going to be important. Alright, the bronze altar. And thou shalt make an altar of shittim wood, 5 cubits long, and 5 cubits broad. The altar shall be 4 square, and the height thereof shall be 3 cubits. And thou shalt make the horns of it upon the 4 corners thereof. So this one is similar to one of the pictures we seen earlier in part 1. His horn shall be of the same. And thou shalt overlay it with brass. And thou shalt make his pans to receive his ashes, and his shovels, and his basins, and his flesh hooks, and his fire pans. All the vessels thereof thou shalt make of brass. And thou shalt make for it a grate of network of brass. And upon the net shalt thou make 4 brassen rings in the 4 corners thereof. And thou shalt put it under the compass of the altar beneath, that the net may be even to the midst of the altar. And thou shalt make staffs for the altar, staves of shittim wood, and overlay them with brass. And the staves shall be put into the rings, and the staves shall be upon the 2 sides of the altar to bear it, so they can hold it, just like I showed you already in the pictures and stuff. Let me see if it's still up. No. Well, you already know what I'm talking about if you've seen part 1. So hollow with boards shalt thou make it, as it was showed thee in the mount, so shall they make it. The courtyard. And thou shalt make the court of the tabernacle. For the south side, southward, there shall be hangings for the court of fine twined linen of 100 cubits long for one side. So this would be the courtyard. This is how long the courtyard got to be now. We'll go ahead and save that. Bada bing, bada boom. So 100 cubits long for one side, and the 20 pillars thereof, and their 20 sockets shall be of brass. The hooks of the pillars and their fillets shall be of silver. And likewise for the north side, in length there shall be hangings of 100 cubits long, and his 20 pillars and their 20 sockets of brass. The hooks of the pillars and their fillets of silver, their fillings of silver. And for the breadth of the court on the west side shall be hangings of 50 cubits. Their pillars 10, and their sockets 10. And the breadth of the court of the east side, eastward, shall be 50 cubits. So we have 100 cubits for the north side, So I believe it's 100 cubits for the north and south side. On the north side, there'll be 100 cubits and 20 pillars and 20 sockets of brass. The hooks of the pillars and their fillets of silver. For the west side, there shall be hangings of 50 cubits, their pillars 10, and their sockets 10. On the east side of the court eastward shall be 50 cubits. The hangings of one side of the gate shall be 15 cubits. So the hangings of one side of the gate shall be 15 cubits, their pillars 3, and their sockets 3. And on the other side shall be hangings 15 cubits, their pillars 3, and their sockets 3. And for the gate of the court shall be in hanging of 20 cubits of blue and purple and scarlet, and fine twined, wrought with needlework. Sew it yourself. And their pillars shall be 4, and their sockets 4. All the pillars round about the court shall be filleted with silver. Their hooks shall be of silver, and their sockets of brass. The length of the court shall be 100 cubits, and the breadth 50 everywhere. The height shall 5 cubits of fine twined linen, and their sockets of brass. All the vessels of the tabernacle, and all the service thereof, and all the pins thereof, and all the pins of the court shall be of brass. So now the oil for the lamps. Let's go ahead and get that in. So this is all part of the covenant. You can find all this in Exodus. This is what we're supposed to be doing on the feast, on these some of the feast. So the oil for the lamps. And thou shalt command the children of Yis-RoyAl, Israel, that they bring thee pure oil, olive, beaten from the light, beaten for the light. So you got to have pure olive oil. If you can make your own and beat it and smash it down to oil, then do that. To cause the lamp to burn always. So pure olive oil help candles burn and to keep them on fire. And the tabernacle of the congregation without the veil, which is before the testimony. Aaron and his so before the testimony, this will be in the room before that room. Let me see. Like right here, the altar of incense, the altar of the golden lampstand, and the tabernacle of showed bread will all be before the testimony, the testament, what we're supposed to go in front of in the ark. And I believe everyone going there one by one by one, and before they go in there, they take the holy bread, they do the ritual and all that stuff, and then they walk into that room and surrender to the will of the Most High and all this stuff. A sin offering's made for everybody all at once. One's made for the priest first. We'll learn all that later, and this is how it's set up. So the last room will be the Ark of the Covenant. The first room will be the table of the unleavened bread, the altar of incense, and the golden lampstand. Matter of fact, let me see that again. Yup, first apartment, second apartment. This is the holy place. This is the most holiest place. This section right here will be the holy place. This section will be the most holiest place. So the oils for the lamps. Alright, so we're gonna burn olive oil to keep the flame on. And the tabernacle of the congregation without the veil, which is before the testimony, Aaron and his sons shall order it from evening to morning before the Most High. So from evening to morning they'll be working on it, getting it together. It shall be a statute forever unto their generations on behalf of the children of Israel. So Exodus 28, section 1. Garments for the priest. And take thou unto thee Aaron thy brother, and his sons with him, from among the children of Israel, that he may minister unto me. in the priest's office, even Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu, Eleazar, and Itamar, Aaron's sons. And thou shalt make holy garments for Aaron, thy brother, for glory and for beauty. And thou shalt speak unto all that are wise hearted, whom I have filled with the spirit of wisdom and light, that they may make Aaron's garments to consecrate him, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office. And these are the garments which they shall make: a breastplate, and an ephod, and a robe, and broidered coat, a mitre, a mitre, and a girdle. So let's go ahead and see if we have a picture of that. Oh, pardon me. Alright, that would be one of the pictures. That's not it though. Ephod. Let's see this right here. Alright, so the mitre would be the thing on his head right there. Mitre. Golden clasp. Urim. Tumim. Linen girdle. So it would look something similar to this with purple on it. Purple, gold, blue. I think purple, gold, and blue. Let's go back. Let's see. Well, it's going to explain that. So, and they shall make holy garments for Aaron thy brother and his sons, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office. And they shall take gold and blue and purple and scarlet and fine linen. So this would be in gold, blue, purple, and scarlet and fine linen. So that's the holy colors. I'm going to go ahead and save this as well. The ephod. So the ephod would be, the front of the ephod would be this thing, this long robe thing, the colorful part. Hold on, let me see. Alright, so the ephod would be this colorful thing right here that he got on. And they shall make the ephod of gold, or of gold, of blue, and of purple, of scarlet, and fine twined linen, with cunning work. It shall have 2 shoulder pieces thereof joined at the 2 edges thereof, and so it shall be joined together. So let's go ahead and see the shoulder pieces. The clasp right here at the top, that's where we'll hold up the everything. Alright, let's continue. And the curious girdle of the ephod, which is upon it, shall be of the same, according to the work thereof, even of gold, of blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine twined linen. And thou shalt take 2 onyx stones, and grave on them the names of the children of Israel, 6 of their names on 1 stone, and the other 6 names of the rest of the other stone, according to their birthright. So according to their birthright, let me see. So we know who they are. We had read them before. So let me go ahead and put this on there too. I'm probably gonna have to put this whole section. This section's very, very important. I'm gonna simplify it though on my own time, over here on my notes, to get down to the steps and everything that need to be done. All right. So unto and those shalt and you shall take 2 onyx stones, engrave on them the names of the children of Yis-RoyAl, with the work of an engraver in stone, like the engravings of an signet, which is a sigil. signet, and a lot of people use that for magic. A lot of magic in the occult world. So the creator is doing the same thing, like the engravings of a signet, sigil. Shalt thou engrave the two stones with the names of the children of Israel? Thou shalt make them to be set in ouches of gold. And thou shalt put the two stones upon the shoulders of the ephod for stones of memorial unto the children of Yis-RoyAl, Israel. And that would be this right here, this breastplate on his chest. That's why I see 3, 6, 9, 12. So you have the name of each of them on there. Although it says it's supposed to be two stones, two onyx stones. Two stones upon the shoulders of the ephod. So the shoulders of the ephod would be, I believe, somewhere up here. Let's see. Blue lacer, mitar, golden clasp, breastplate, linen, ephod. This whole thing would be the ephod. Linen breeches. Also, there's an upper robe, and then there's a linen robe. So there's at least 3 robes. It's like an apron. This is a robe underneath, and a linen robe, a linen girdle. Alright, so on the breastplate. Okay, got it. And thou shalt make ouches of gold, and 2 chains of pure gold at the ends. Of rethin work shalt thou make them, and fasten the rethin chains to be ouches. So that would mean secure it, fasting it, which would be the clasp. The breastpiece. And thou shalt make the breastplate of judgment with cunning work, after the work of the ephod. Thou shalt make it of gold, of blue, and of purple, and of scarlet, and of fine twined linen shalt thou make it. 4 square it shall be, being doubled. 4 square doubled. So on the ephod, that uniform, you would have the names of the children of Israel. The breastpiece now is this little piece right here in the center, this breastplate. So this on the outside is supposed to have the name of Israel as memorial. So I'll figure out how to do that later. 4 square it shall be, being doubled. A span shall be the length thereof, and the span shall be the breadth thereof. And thou shalt set in it settings of stones, even 4 rows of stones. The first row shall be a sardius, a topaz, and a carbuncle. This shall be the first row. So the first row, 1, 2, 3. She said, thou shalt set it in settings of stones, even 4 rows of stones. The first row shall be a sardius. So that'll be down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3 rows of 4. And the second row shall be an emerald, a sapphire, and a diamond. And the third row now a ligure, an agate, and an amethyst. And the fourth row a beryl, and an onyx, and a jasper. They shall be set in gold, and their enclosings. So, and the stones shall be with the names of the children of Israel, 12 according to their names. So, and the stones shall be with the names of the children of Israel, all 12 according to their names, like the engravings of a signet, which mean like a sigil. You're embedding it in the stone, carving it in the stone. Everyone with his name shall they be according to the 12 tribes. And thou shalt make upon the breastplate chains at the ends of rethin work of pure gold. And thou shalt make upon the breastplate 2 rings of gold. So 2 rings of gold. Oh, okay, right here. You see where my mouse is at? See, rings down here, rings down here, rings down here, rings down here of gold. And we're going to put sand through it to tie it up. So, and thou shalt put the two retin chains of gold in the two rings which are on the ends of the breastplate. So right here would be gold chains, gold rings. And the other two ends of the two retin chains thou shalt fasten in the two ouches in the loop, and put them on the shoulder pieces of the ephod before it. So all that should be connecting with this right here, the ephod, the uniform right here, in gold, purple, blue, and scarlet. Alright, and thou shalt make two rings of gold, and thou shalt put them upon the two ends of the breastplate in the border thereof, which is in the side of the ephod inward. And two other rings of gold thou shalt make, and put them on the two sides of the ephod underneath, as you just seen, toward the fore part thereof, over against the other coupling thereof. So over and against all the other uniforms that we have on. As you can tell, the breastplate and the breastpiece is in the front. It's in the front of everything, coupling with everything else, uniting with everything else. Above the curious girdle of the ephod, and they shall bind the breastplate by the ring thereof unto the rings of the ephod with a lace of blue, that it may be above the curious girdle of the ephod. So curious girdle of the ephod will be this, the linen girdle, this thing wrapped around his tummy. So it's like a linen girdle to squeeze everything in. So it's right above it, and it will connect with the breastplate and stuff like that. You will see. Alright. And they shall bind the breastplate by the rings thereof unto the rings of the ephod with a lace of blue, that it may be above the curious girdle of the ephod, and that the breastplate be not loosened from the ephod. And Aaron shall bear the names of the children of Israel in a breastplate of judgment upon his heart, when he goeth in unto the holy place for a memorial before the Most High continually. And thou shalt put in the breastplate of judgment the Urim and the Tumim, and they shall be upon Aaron's heart when he goeth in before the Most High. And Aaron shall bear the judgment of the children of Israel upon his heart before the Most High continually. So now this is how we gain forgiveness for our whole tribe, for our nation. So let's go ahead and look up Urim and Tumim again. So okay, so the Urim and the Tumim would be a breastplate still. Let me look at it in this image. Yeah, so the Urim Turim would be the breastplate thing. Urim Tumim. Alright, let's go up. Let's go back to our spot. Let's see it on here now. So the Urim Turim, I believe, would be this thing around the breastplate. Let me see. So, and thou shalt put in the breastplate of judgment the Urim and the Turim, and they shall be upon Aaron's heart when he goeth in before the Most High. So Turim. So the breastplate and the Urim Turim correlate, because the breastplate seemed like that in the center. The Turim seem to be this thing on the outside, whatever it's surrounded by. Unless they both go together, and gotta look into that. Alright, additional priestly garments. And thou shalt make the robe of the ephod of all blue. So the ephod will be all blue. Let's see. Is the ephod this thing underneath? I'm not sure, but it might be this thing underneath. This blue thing. But this, nah, the blue thing will be the upper robe. Alright, so the ephod would be this. And there shall be an hole in the top of it, in the midst thereof. It shall have a binding of woven work round about the whole of it, as it were the whole of an habergeon, that it be not rent. So it shouldn't be wrinkled or anything like that. Hold on, let's see what's this right here. Oh, so I see. Boom. So it'd be something along that line. So woven work round about the whole of it, as it were the whole of an habergeon. A robe of ephod of all blue, and there shall be an hole in the top of it. A hole in the top of it. Okay, it's like a armor. So it's like a breastplate, coat of mail, harness. So they say it's like an armor. A sleeveless coat of mail or scale armor, typically worn under the hauberk during the Middle Ages. The term can also be defined as medieval armor. A light sleeveless coat worn in the 14th century under the plated hauberk. So it's a time it's kind of like an armor then. He's saying to wear this armor. Binding of woven work round about the whole of it, as it were the whole of an bergion, that it be not rent. And beneath upon the hem of it thou shalt make pomegranates of blue. So pomegranates of blue would be this down here. This would be the bells and the pomegranate. I don't know why they got it in blue and red there, but it said it's supposed to be in blue. Breeches, linen breeches. Alright, so that not be under the harbor. Okay, so I'm starting to see what the creator's saying a lot more. Pictures of a Harbergion. Yep, I had a feeling it was that. I kept thinking about being a knight and stuff like that. So it would be something along that line. Okay, I get it. So it's almost like a type of armor. And beneath upon the hem of it thou shalt make pomegranates of blue and of purple and of scarlet round about the hem thereof, and bells of gold between them round about. So that would be this right here, like I had showed y'all, the bells and the pomegranate, and this would be the blue linen, the upper robe with blue linen, the additional stuff. We already read about the girdle. I'm guessing the breeches or the side. We didn't really hear much about that. We heard about the golden clasp. We heard about the Urim Tumim. which will be in the center with the breastplate. And we've heard a little bit about the linen girdle. So the curious girdle is down here. The linen girdle is right here. So there's two type of girdles. And we have to keep going. A golden bell and a pomegranate. A golden bell and a pomegranate upon the hem of the robe roundabout. So upon the edges and the bottom of the robe. And it shall be upon Aaron to minister, and his sound shall be heard when he goeth in unto the holy place before the most high, pure white light spirit. And when he cometh out, that he die not. So this is all going to protect him so he don't die from what's about to happen. Because he's about to see the Creator, meet the Creator, and go through a lot to release our sins and stuff like that. So that's why he need all the protection, the gold, the silver, and all that stuff. If you don't know how to do that, don't mess with all that, or you might get yourself into serious trouble. Because this is very serious. This is for real, for real. So what is a hem? Alright, where the edge of a piece of cloth is folded narrowly and sewn to prevent unraveling of the fabric. So where the fabric is supposed, where the edge of the fabric is supposed to be is where you're supposed to put the bells. But we already know that. We had pretty much decoded that. This usually refers to finishing the edge of a garment so that it won't rip or fray. This is typically done by folding the edge over once or twice, and so on. Alright, so that makes sense to me. Let's continue. So now when Aaron go to minister, because remember he has to pick up the book of covenant as well, the testament, all this stuff, and his sound shall be heard when he goeth into the holy place before the Most High, so that when he come out he's not dead. And thou shalt make a plate of pure gold, engrave upon it like the engravings of a sigil, holiness to the holiness to Ahia, holiness to Ahia, Ashur Ahia, holiness to I am, holiness to spirit, holiness to pure white light. And thou shalt put it on the blue lace, that it may be upon the mitre, upon the forefront of the mitre it shall be. So let's look for the mitri or mitar, whatever, mitre. Okay, mitri will be this mitri, this thing on his head. Mitre. Oh, that's what they be putting on. That's where they get that from, the whole fish head and all that. They've been doing rituals with us the whole time without letting us know. The priest be doing that too with his smoke and all that right in front of everyone, man. What the heck? So as you can tell, the Hebrew Israelite one is slightly different. Hold on, let's go right here. So it's called the type of headgear. It's a traditional headgear. Okay, so I see upon that headgear will be would be the name Holiness to Ahia. So this might help out a little bit. Let's go ahead, fold this down. Ugh, he looks so evil. I don't even want to see him. Ugh. Alright, let's get out of here. Can't stand that Pope, but I forgive him. So on the forefront it will say that, and thou shalt put it on a blue lace, that it may be upon the mitar. So let's grab up this one. So the blue lacer. So the blue lacer will be in front of the mitar. Upon the front, the forefront of the mitar it shall be. So the blue lacer would be in front of the matar or mitri, whatever they call it. All right, let's go ahead and get another picture up. So gold plates attached. Gold plate attached by a blue cord to the mitar or a headband. Also, you call it like a headband type of thing. Cool. So this says almost the same things too. Alright, let's continue, my dear friends. Alright. And it shall be upon Aaron's forehead, that Aaron may bear the iniquity of the holy things, which the children of Yis-RoyAl shall hallow, and all their holy gifts. And it shall be always upon his forehead, and they may be accepted before the Most High. And thou shalt embroider the coat of fine linen, and thou shalt make them mitre of fine linen, and thou mitri or mitre of fine linen, and thou shalt make the girdle of needlework. And for Aaron's sons thou shalt make coats, and thou shalt make for them girdles, and bonnets, which is a kind of hat, shalt thou make for them, for glory and for beauty. So let's see a picture of bonnets real quick. And thou shalt put them upon Aaron thy brother and his sons with him, and shalt anoint them, and consecrate them, and sanctify them, that they may minister unto me in the priest's office. And thou shalt make them linen breeches to cover their nakedness. So linen breeches, which would be like an under garment type of thing. Linen breeches, now we're talking about that. From the loins even unto the thighs they shall reach. So the it should be reaching from the loins all the way down to your thighs. And they shall be upon Aaron and upon his sons when they come in unto the tabernacle of the congregation, or when they come near unto the altar to minister in the holy place, that they bear not iniquity and die. So if you have sin and iniquity and you do this, you're gonna die. It shall be a statute forever unto him and his seed after him. So let's go ahead and get a picture of bonnet. Bonnets, bonnet. Alright, I see. These are cute little pictures. Alright, so that's what they call bonnets. Bonnets. Remind me of the sun. They're cute. Cool. Alright, so I'll do more research on that too and figure everything else out. Let me see. Alright, so here we go. Exodus 29. Consecration of the priest. And this is the thing that thou shalt do unto them, to hallow them, to minister unto me in the priest's office. Take one young bullock and 2 rams without blemish. Take one young bullock and 2 rams without blemish. So that remind me of that picture we were seeing earlier. After they wash their hand, wash their body. Alright, so that would be a bullock, a bull. And this would be a ram. 1 ram, 2 ram. We'll read that one on a different video. So without blemish, which means without spots on it, without any damages, without even one scar, the best one you have, the one you love the most, matter of fact. So that's why before these days come, you treat your animals really good so you can prepare to give it to the Creator. So, and unleavened bread, which means bread without yeast, just fine flour with water, baked, and cakes unleavened, tempered with oil. So you put olive oil on it, pure natural olive oil. And wafers unleavened, anointed with oil. So the wafers will be unleavened with oil as well. Of wheaten flour shalt thou make them. So wheaten flour. And thou shalt put them into one basket, and bring them in the basket, with the bullock and the two rams. And Aaron and his sons thou shalt bring unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. So he will go up to the tabernacle of the congregation. Tabernacle of the congregation would be that back there. Tabernacle of congregation would be right here. Sacrifice happens over there. And we're gonna continue. We're actually about to get to that in a minute. All right. And thou shalt put them into one basket. And Aaron and his sons thou shalt bring unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and shalt wash them with water. And thou shalt take the garments, and put upon Aaron the coat, and the robe of the ephod, and the ephod, and the breastplate, and gird him with the curious girdle of the ephod. And thou shalt put the mitre upon his head, and put the holy crown upon the mitre. Then shalt thou take the anointing oil, olive oil, and pour it upon his head, and anoint him. And that's what you have on this picture right here. Before he does his ritual, they wash his feet first, get him ready. Then they put on his white linen first, then his blue linen, then his ephod, dress him up, then put the oil on his head. And now he can go to the bullock to make the sacrifice. And thou shalt put the mitre upon his head, and put the holy crown upon the mitre. Then shalt thou take the anointing oil, and pour it upon his head, and anoint him. And thou shalt bring his sons, and put coats upon them. And thou shalt gird them with girdles, Aaron and his sons, and put the bonnets on them. So for you who's going to be the priest, you're going to have to gird your children, your sons, your daughters with girdles, and put the bonnet on them. And the priest's office shall be theirs for a perpetual statute. And thou shalt consecrate Aaron and his sons. Pardon me. So consecrate means to declare or set apart as sacred, to produce the ritual transformation of the elements of whatever into the body and blood of Yeshua, to sanctify bread and wine for use in communion. So through the bread and wine, the unleavened bread and everything, they become consecrated, sanctified. Let's look. So it sanctifies, to set apart for sacred use, to make holy, purify, to give religious sanction to, as with an oath or vow. So that can all go in there as well, because it's part of it. So let's continue. Order of the sacrifices. And thou shalt cause a bullock to be brought before the tabernacle of the congregation. And Aaron and his sons shall put their hands upon the head of the bullock. And thou shalt kill the bullock before the Most Higher Spirit, by the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And that's what you see here. The bullock. So he'll say the ritual, say what he need to say, and then, do what he need to do from there on. Pardon me. I'm looking for this right here. So they would use the basin to put the blood in, remember, because they're going to need the blood. So pardon me, let me see. By the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, thou shalt take, and thou shalt take of the blood of the bullock, and put it upon the horns of the altar with thy finger. So this would have to go on the altar with the horns. So put it upon the horns of the altar with thy finger, and pour all the blood beside the bottom of the altar. So pour all the blood beside the bottom of the altar, and thou shalt take all the fat that covereth the inwards, and the caul that is above the liver, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is upon them, and burn them upon the altar. But the flesh of the bullock, and his skin, and his dung shalt thou burn with fire without the camp. It is a sin offering. So the bullock would be the sin offering. You got to do a sin offering first. Get rid of your sins, or you will die doing this ritual, man. This is serious. Thou shalt also take 1 ram, and Aaron and his son shall put their hands upon the head of the ram, like they did here, on the forehead or the head, the crown. And thou shalt slay the ram, and thou shalt take his blood and sprinkle it round about upon the altar. So now that's where you get this now, sprinkling it on the altar. And thou shalt cut the ram in pieces, and wash the inwards of him. So now after you cut the ram in pieces, you're going to have to wash out the inside of it, with probably lemon, vinegar, and things like that. And his legs, and put them unto his pieces, and unto his head. And thou shalt burn the whole ram upon the altar. It is a burnt offering upon the Most High. It is a sweet savor, an offering made by fire unto the Most High Spirit. So this would be the burnt offering. So now we're learning about the burnt offering. And thou shalt take the other ram, because there's 2 rams, and Aaron and his son shall put their hands upon the head of the ram together. Then shalt thou kill the ram, and take of his blood, and put it upon the tip of the right ear of Aaron. So then shalt thou kill the ram, and take of his blood, and it's a ram, and put it upon the tip of the right ear of Aaron, and upon the tip of the right ear of his sons, and upon the thumb of their right hand, and upon the great toe of their right foot, and sprinkle the blood upon the altar round about. And thou shalt take the blood that is upon the altar, and of the anointing oil, and sprinkle it upon Aaron, and upon his garments, and upon his sons, and upon the garments of his sons with him. And he shall be hallowed, and his garments, and his sons' garments with him. So I'm going to go ahead and save that too. This whole section is important, matter of fact. Let me just do it one by one though. Pardon me. Alright. Exodus 29, section 22. Also thou shalt take of the ram the fat and the rump, and the fat that covereth the inwards, and the caul above the liver, and the 2 kidneys. So also thou shalt take of the ram the fat and the rump, and the fat that covereth the inwards, and the caul above the liver, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is upon them, and the right shoulder, for it is a ram of consecration, and 1 loaf of bread, and 1 cake of oiled bread, and 1 wafer out of the basket of the unleavened bread that is before the Most High. And thou shalt put all in the hands of Aaron, and in the hands of his sons, and shalt wave them for a wave offering before the Most High. So this is the wave offering. Let me go ahead, put that in there. So now we have the wave offering. We've just learned about the burnt offering. We just learned about the sin offering. Now we're on the wave offering. And thou shalt take the breast of the ram of Aaron's consecration, and wave it for a wave offering before the Most High, and it shall be thy part. And thou shalt sanctify the breast of the wave of offering, and the shoulder of the heave offering, which is waved, and which is heaved up, of the ram of the consecration, even of that which is for Aaron, and of that which is for his sons. And it shall be Aaron's and his sons by a statute forever from the children of Israel. For it is an heave offering, and it shall be an heave offering from the children of Israel, of the sacrifice of their peace offerings, even their heave offering unto the Most High. Heave offering. Let's continue. And the holy garments of Aaron shall be his sons after him, to be anointed therein, and to be consecrated in them. And that son that is priest in his stead shall put them on 7 days, when he cometh into the tabernacle of the congregation to minister in the holy place. So food for the priest. And thou shalt take the ram of the consecration, and seeth his flesh in the holy place. And Aaron and his sons shall eat the flesh of the ram, and the bread that is in the basket by the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And they shall eat those things wherewith the atonement was made, to consecrate and to sanctify them. But a stranger shall not eat thereof, because they are holy. And if aught of the flesh of the consecrations, or of the bread, remain unto the morning, the daytime, sunrise, then thou shalt burn the remainder with fire. It shall not be eaten, because it is holy. And thus shalt thou do unto Aaron and to his sons, according to all things which I have commanded thee. 7 days shalt thou consecrate them. And thou shalt offer every day a bullock for a sin offering for atonement. And thou shalt cleanse the altar when thou hast made an atonement for it. And thou shalt anoint it to sanctify it, make it holy. 7 days thou shalt make an atonement for the altar, and sanctify it, and it shall be an altar most holy. Whatsoever toucheth the altar shall be holy. So I love that right there. Let's go ahead and save that. So the daily offerings. Now, this is that which thou shalt offer upon the altar, 2 lambs of the first year, day by day, continually. The one lamb thou shalt offer in the daytime, and the other lamb thou shalt offer at the even, when the sun is at the top above you, above your crown. And with the one lamb, 1/10 deal of flour, mingled with the 4th part of an hin of beaten oil, and the 4th part of an hin of wine, a hint of wine, for a drink offering. And the other lamb thou shalt offer at even, and shalt do thereto according to the meat offering of the sunrise, and according to the drink offering thereof, for a sweet savor, an offering made by fire unto the Most High. This shall be a continual burnt offering throughout your generations, at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation before Ahiah, where I will meet you to speak thereunto thee. And there I will meet with the children of Yis-RoyAl, Israel, and the tabernacle shall be sanctified by my glory. And I will sanctify the tabernacle of the congregation and the altar. I will sanctify also both Aaron and his sons to minister to me in the priest's office. So Ahiah will dwell among the people, and I will dwell among the children of Yis-RoyAl, and will be their God. And they shall know that I am the Most High, the pure white light, the Almighty I am self, that brought them forth out of the land of Egypt, oppression, that I may dwell among them. I am Ahia, their God. So over here where it says the burnt offering, I'm gonna go ahead and put this there. Boom. And then at the end of here, I'll just put this because this has a lot of impact too. Alright, so we're almost done with this Exodus section. We're just making sure we get everything. So now we're going to learn about the incense and the atonement and stuff like that. Exodus 30, the altar of incense. And thou shalt make an altar to burn incense upon. Of shittim wood shalt thou make it. A cubit shall be the length thereof, and a cubit the breadth thereof. 4 square shall it be, and 2 cubits shall be the height thereof, and the horns thereof shall be of the same. And thou shalt overlay it with pure gold, the top thereof, and the sides thereof, round about, and the horns thereof. And thou shalt make unto it a crown of gold round about, and that means a circumference of gold. And 2 golden rings shalt thou make to it under the crown of it, by the 2 corners thereof, unto the 2 sides of it shalt thou make it. And they shall be for places for the staves to bear it withal. And thou shalt make the staves of shittim wood, and overlay them with gold. And thou shalt put it before the veil, that it is by the ark of the testimony, before the mercy seat, that is over the testimony, where I will meet with thee. And Aaron shall burn thereon sweet incense every daytime. When he dresseth the lamps, he shall burn incense upon it. So while he's dressing up the lamps and everything, he should be putting the incense upon it, blowing the incense everywhere, sanctifying everything. And when Aaron lighteth the lamps at even, he shall burn incense upon it, a perpetual incense before the Most High throughout your generations, representing our torch and light. Ye shall offer no strange incense thereon, nor burnt sacrifice, nor meat offering, neither shall ye pour drink offering thereon. And Aaron shall make an atonement upon the horns of it once in a year, with the blood of the sin offering of atonements. Once in the year shall he make atonement upon it throughout your generations. It is most holy unto the Most High Ahia. So go ahead and save this. I'll organize that later, because that goes with the thing over there. What the heck is this? Okay. So the atonement money. And the Most High spoke unto Moses, saying, When thou takest the sum of the children of Israel, after their number, then shall they give every man a ransom for his soul unto the Most High, when thou numberest them, that there be no plague among them, when thou numberest them. This they shall give, every one that passeth among them that are numbered, half a shekel after the shekel of the sanctuary. A shekel is 20 gerahs, Gerahs. Look that up in the shekel. And half shekel shall be the offering of the Most High. Every one that passeth among them that are numbered, from 20 years old and above, shall give an offering unto the Most High. The rich shall not give more, and the poor shall not give less than half a shekel. When they give an offering unto the Most High, to make an atonement for your souls. And thou shalt take the atonement money of the children of Israel, and shalt appoint it for the service of the tabernacle of the congregation, that it may be a memorial unto the children of Israel, before the Most High, to make an atonement for your souls. So all this is important too. The bronze basin. Let's go ahead and save that too. Alright, the bronze basin. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, Thou shalt also make a laver of brass, and his foot also of brass, to wash withal. And thou shalt put it between the tabernacle of the congregation and the altar, and thou shalt put water therein. So that would be what this is right here, the laver. Let me see, is there another picture of it? Yup, the laver would be in the center right there. Alright. That would be the bronze basin. So that would be to wash the foot, as you see right here. The basin. Wash the foot. Alright, let's continue. For Aaron and his sons shall wash their hands and their feet thereat. When they go into the tabernacle of the congregation, they shall wash with water, that they die not. Or when they come near to the altar to minister, to burn offering made by fire unto the Most High. So they shall wash their hands and their feet, that they die not. And it shall be a statute forever to them, even to him and to his seed throughout their generations. So there we go. The altar is right here, the gate's right here. So before you make a offering at the altar, you got to go wash your hand, wash your feet, just your hand and feet, and we continue from there to get clean. Water makes you clean. It's the holy water. The anointing oil. Moreover, the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, Take thou also unto 3 principal spices of pure myrrh, 500 shekels, and of sweet cinnamon, half so much, even 250 shekels, and of sweet calamus, 250 shekels, and of cassia, 500 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, and of oil, olive, and hin. So we have myrrh, we have sweet cinnamon, we have sweet calamus, we have cassia, and we have olive oil. And thou shalt make it an oil of holy ointment, which means you're probably going to mix all this together to make an ointment. An ointment compound after the art of the apothecary. It shall be an holy anointing oil, and thou shalt anoint the tabernacle of the congregation therewith, and the ark of the testimony, and the table, and all his vessels, and the candlestick, and his vessels, and the altar of incense, and the altar of burnt offering with all his vessels, and the laver and his foot. And thou shalt sanctify them, that they may be most holy. Whosoever toucheth them shall be holy. And thou shalt anoint Aaron and his sons, and consecrate them, that they may minister unto me in the priest's office. And thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel, saying, This shall be an holy anointing oil unto me throughout your generations. Upon man's flesh shall it not be poured, neither shall ye make any other like it after the composition of it. It is holy, and it shall be holy unto you. Whosoever compoundeth any like it, or whosoever putteth any of it upon a stranger, shall even be cut off from his people. The incense. And the Most High said unto Moses, Take unto thee sweet spices, stack, and anicha. So sweet spices, stach, and anicha, and galbanum, So those are three things you should look up. These sweet spices with pure frankincense. So now you're picturing this place with all frankincense. This is for the incense. Of each shall there be a like weight, and thou shalt make it a perfume, a confection after the art of the apothecary, tempered together, pure and holy. So we're mixing all these things to make incense, to make anointing oils and stuff like that. And thou shalt beat some of it very small, which means mix it together, mash it down, mix it, and put of it before the testimony in the tabernacle of the congregation, where I will meet with thee. It shall be unto you most holy. And as for the perfume which thou shalt make, ye shall not make to yourselves according to the composition thereof. It shall be unto thee holy for the most higher, which means you're not going to be using this outside of this congregation. This is just for this congregation for the most high. So whosoever shall make like unto that, to smell thereto, shall even be cut off from his people. So if you use it any other time, any other date that's not on these dates, these Sabbaths and feasts, you're going to be in trouble. Alright, so we can skip these, go to the signs of the Sabbath. And the Most High spoke unto Moses, saying, Speak thou also unto the children of Israel, saying, Verily, my Sabbaths ye shall keep, for it is a sign between me and you throughout your generations, that ye may know that I am Ahaya, Ahaya, that do sanctify you. You shall keep the Sabbath thereof, for it is holy unto you. Everyone that defiles it shall surely be put to death. For whosoever doeth any work therein, that soul shall be cut off from among his people. 6 days may work be done, but in the seventh is the Sabbath of rest, holy to the most higher. Whosoever doeth any work in the Sabbath day, he shall surely be put to death. Wherefore the children of Israel shall keep the commandment to observe the Sabbath throughout their generations for a perpetual covenant. It is a sign between me and the children of Israel forever. For in 6 days the Most High made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day he rested and was refreshed. So right here it says Moses receives the tablets. Finally, after 40 days and 40 nights, he's receiving all these laws and stuff. The Most High finally gave him the tablets. So when he gave unto Moses, when he had made an end of communing with him upon Mount Sinai, 2 tables of testimony, tables of stone written with the finger of Ahaya, Ahaya itself. Alright, I'm going to skip this part because the golden calf is about how the children of Israel began to worship the golden calf, which they call Baal, which they also call Lucifer, Satan, Yahweh, Jehovah, all that stuff. That was the same name for that calf, the horn that they worship and stuff, because they thought they needed an image to worship the unseen, but no image represents the unseen, because the unseen represents the unseen. You see? Now, if you have an image, the image represents the image. It is what it is. So these people got played and started worshiping the golden calf, which they call Babylon, Baal. So Moses also informed the people of the sins that they committed, because the Creator gave him the commandments to show the people. You can look at it in Exodus 32, and the people broke the commandments. So one tablet was showing the commandments we're supposed to follow, and the second tablet was the broken tablets, the commandments that we broke. So that one was broken. So we had to repent and go through a forgiven stage, and get our sins cleansed and all that, in order to come back into the convocation of the Most High. So as you can tell, Moses breaks the tablets. So because the people had broke the tablets, worshiping idols and stuff like that, and going against the Most High, that actually saved their ass from trouble. So now the people were commanded to leave Sinai. And then they had the tent of meeting where they talked and spoke and pretty much talked about Yeshaya, Ahaya, the glory of Ahaya. So we'll continue this. You can look all that up in Exodus. The tablets are replaced, which mean the Creator was merciful and gracious to forgive us when once we repent, and it established it pretty much replaced the covenant. So the Most High's new covenant also was formed through Yeshaya, Christ. So he renewed the covenant. He didn't make a new covenant. He renewed the covenant. He now we're still in the covenant. So all that openeth the matrix is mine, and every firstling among thy cattle, whether ox, sheep, that is male. So let me go ahead and see this right here. Alright, so this is the renewing of the covenant. The Most Higher renews the covenant because we broke it and we're breaking it again now, which means we have to renew it again. So when he said, behold, I make a covenant before all thy people, I will do marvels, such as have not been done in all the earth, nor in any nation, and all the people among which thou art shall see the work of the Most Higher, pure white light spirit, Almighty I am. For it is a terrible thing that I will do with thee. Observe thou that which I command thee this day. So observe what you are being commanded this day. Behold, I drive out before thee the Amorite, and the Canaanite, and the Hittite, and the Perizzite, and the Hivite, and the Jebusite. Take heed to thyself, lest thou make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land whither thou goest, lest it be for a snare in the midst of thee. So be careful of the people you make contracts with, soul contracts, physical contracts, verbalized contracts, because you don't want to end up in a snare with them. They're doing wrong. But ye shall destroy their altars to a cow and all this stuff, a bull. Which is pretty much what I'm doing now. I'm eliminating their non-positive images and their non-positive grip on you guys and us. We're eliminating that, and we gotta eliminate it physically too. But ye shall destroy their altars, break their images, and cut down their groves. For thou shalt worship no other God. For the Most Higher, whose name is jealous, is a jealous Most High Creator. Lest thou make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land, a contract with anyone in the land, and they go a whoring after their gods, and do sacrifice unto their gods, and one call thee, and thou eat of his sacrifice, and thou take of his daughters unto thy sons, and their daughters go a whoring after their gods, and make thy sons go a whoring after their gods, thou shalt make thee no molten gods. The feast of unleavened bread shalt thou keep. 7 days thou shalt eat unleavened bread, as I commanded thee. And the time of the month Aviv, for in the month Aviv, or Nisan, thou camest out from Egypt. So, and this will be the feast of first fruit right here too. All that openeth the matrix, which is the womb. The matrix represents a womb, a tummy, a belly, is mine. And every firstling among thy cattle, first fruit, whether ox or sheep, that is male. But the firstling of an ass, which is a donkey, thou shalt redeem with the lamb. And if thou redeem him not, then shalt thou break his neck. All the firstborn of thy sons thou shalt redeem, and none shall appear before me empty, which means come with something. This is the Sabbath still. 6 days thou shalt work, but on the 7th day thou shalt rest, in earling time, and in harvest you shall rest, and you shall observe the feast of weeks, which is the Sabbath of weeks, the weekly Sabbath from half moon to new moon, from half moon to full moon. So when thou shalt observe the feast of weeks, of the first fruits of wheat harvest. So now we're supposed to be harvesting wheat. We're supposed to be sowing wheat and growing wheat. That's part of the contract. Plus thou feed us. And we have the feast of ingathering at the year's end. So these are three most important feasts and Sabbaths we're supposed to be celebrating. Thrice in the year shall all your men, children, appear before the Most High, the Almighty, pure white light spirit of Israel, Yis-RoyAl. For I will cast out the nations before thee, and enlarge thy borders. Neither shall any man desire thy land, when thou shalt go up to appear before the Most High, thy Creator, thrice in the year. Thou shalt not offer the blood of my sacrifice with yeast, with leaven. Neither shall the sacrifice of the feast of the Passover be left unto the morning. The first of the first fruits of thy land thou shalt bring unto the house of Ahiah, Ahijah, the Most High. Thou shalt not seeth a kid in his mother's milk, snow milk. And the Most High said unto Moses, Write you these words, for after the tenor of these words I have made a covenant with thee and with Israel. And he was there with the Most High 40 days and 40 nights. He did neither eat bread nor drink water. And he wrote upon the tables the words of the covenant, the 10 commandments. So after that, Moses' skin was shining. After his testimony, he was glowing. He became light. And just a whole bunch of good stuff. You can read that in Exodus. So, alright. Let's go ahead and read some of this. Exodus 35, the Sabbath. And Moses gathered all the congregation of the children of Israel together, and said unto them, These are the words which the pure white light has commanded, that ye should do them. 6 days shall work be done, but on the 7th day there shall be to you an holy day, a Sabbath of rest to the Most High. Whosoever doeth work therein shall be put to death. Ye shall kindle no fire throughout your habitations upon the Sabbath day. So before the Sabbath day, you'll cook your stuff, get everything ready. By the next day, everything's rest. Everything's rest. You're not lifting a finger, not working anything. You're just celebrating. It's a day where you let the Most High possess you. Materials for the tabernacle. And Moses spoke unto all the congregation of the children of Israel, saying, This is the thing which the Lord, the Most High, commanded, saying, Take ye from among you an offering unto the Most High. Whosoever is of a willing heart, let him bring it. So free willingly give an offering of the Most High, gold and silver and brass and blue and purple and scarlet and fine linen and goat's hair and ram skins dyed red and badger's skins and shittim wood and oil for the light and spices for anointing oil and for the sweet incense and onyx stones and stones to be set for the ephod and for the breastplate. So those are the materials you're going to need for the tabernacle. Let's continue. Alright, so the skilled tabernacle workmen, and every wise-hearted among you shall come, and make all that the Most High hath commanded. The tabernacle, his tent, and his covering, his taches, and his boards, his bars, his pillars, and his sockets, the ark and the staves thereof, which the mercy seat, and the veil of the covering, the table, and his staves, and all his vessels, and the showbread, the candlestick also for the light, and his furniture, and his lamps, with the oil for the light, and the incense altar, and his staves, and the anointing oil, and the sweet incense, and the hanging for the door at the entering in of the tabernacle, the altar of burnt offering, with his brassen grates, his staves, and all his vessels, the laver and his foot, the hangings of the court, his pillars and their sockets, and the hanging for the door of the court, the pins of the tabernacle, and the pins of the court, and their cords, the cloths of service, to do service in the holy place, the holy garments for Aaron the priest, and the garments of his sons to minister in the priest's office. So all that gotta be saved. That's important. That's a sum up of the tabernacle. We already got a sum up of the materials for the tabernacle. The people offer gifts. And all the congregation of the children of Israel departed from the presence of Moses. And they came, everyone whose heart stirred him up, and everyone whom his spirit made willing. And they brought Ahiah's offering to the work of the tabernacle of the congregation, and for all his service, and for the holy garments. And they came, both men and women, as many as were willing hearted, and brought bracelets, and earrings, and rings, and tablets, all jewels of gold. And every man that offered an offering of gold unto the Most High Ahiah. And every man with whom was found blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine linen, and goat's hair, and red skins of rams, and badgers' skins, brought them. Everyone that did offer an offering of silver and brass brought the Most High's offering. And every man with whom was found shittim wood for any work of the service brought it. So everyone contributed together. That's why we're able to do it. We didn't need like one badger and one ram skin we didn't for each person. We just needed one for the congregation for the meeting, just one. We didn't need everyone to bring one each and stuff. Unless I may not be right. Who knows? We'll see. And all the women that were wise-hearted did spin with their hands, and brought that which they had spun, which is sewing, both of blue, and of purple, and of scarlet, and of fine linen. And all the women whose hearts stirred them up in the wisdom spun goat's hair. And the rulers brought onyx stones, and stones to be set for the ephod, and for the breastplate, and spice and oil for the light, and for the anointing oil, and for the sweet incense. The children of Israel brought a willing offering unto the Most High Ahiah, every man and woman whose heart made them willing to bring for all manner of work, which the Most High Ahiah had commanded to be made by the hand of Moses. So all these people contributing are going to be blessed, and they contributed in the tabernacle. All right, let's see. All right, so let's finish off right here. Bezalel and Oholiab, Bezalel and Oholiab, and Mashe, Moses, said unto the children of Yis-RoyAl, Israel, see, the Most High Ahiah, the ultimate spirit that I am, hath called by name Bezalel, the son of Uri, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah, Yahawadah. So look up who is Uri, because Bezalel is the son of Uri, and Uri is the son of Hur, and Hur is of the tribe of Yahawadah, Judah. And he had filled him with the spirit of the pure white light, I am presence, in wisdom, in understanding, and in knowledge, and in all manner of workmanship, and to devise curious works, to work in gold, and in silver, and in brass, and in the cutting of stones, to set them, and in carving of wood, to make any manner of cunning work. So they had a whole system, a whole group of people doing this. And he had put in his heart that he may teach, both he and Aholiab, the son of Ahisamach, of the tribe of Dan. Then hath he filled with wisdom of heart, to work all manner of work, of the engraver, and of the cunning workman, and of the embroiderer, in blue, and in purple, and in scarlet, and in fine linen, and of the weaver, even of them that do any work, and of those that devise cunning work. So let's see. So we still got 1, 2. This is all explaining how to build this up. So right, 3. That would be 4, 5, 6. All right, and we're gonna go right into Leviticus, because Leviticus continues it on. So this will be at least a 5-part video, to tell you the truth, because we got a couple of parts we gotta read to this. It's all gonna make sense by the end. You will know the time. You will know the day of feast. It will be clear, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So let's continue. So let's go back one. Altar of incense, show bread, constructing the ark. Hold on 1 second. The bars, the covering of skin. All right, so we're right here. All right. So Exodus 36, the tabernacle underwritten. Then wrought Bezalel and Aholiab, Bezalel, and every wise-hearted man in whom the Most High Spirit put wisdom and understanding to know how to work all manner of work for the service of the sanctuary, according to all that the Most High had commanded. And Moses called Bezalel and Aholiab, and every wise-hearted man in whose heart the Most High Spirit had put wisdom, even every one whose heart stirred him up to come unto the work to do it. And they received of Moses all the offering which the children of Israel had brought for the work of the service of the sanctuary, to make it withal. And they brought yet unto him free offerings every morning. And all the wise men that wrought all the work of the sanctuary came every man from his work which they made. And they spake unto Moses, saying, The people bring much more than enough for the service of the work which the Most High Spirit commanded to make. And Moses gave commandment, and they caused it to be proclaimed throughout the camp, saying, Let neither man nor woman make any more work for the offering of the sanctuary. So the people were restrained from bringing. For the stuff they had was sufficient for all the work to make it, and too much. So the Creator gives us more than enough. The construction proceeds. And every wise-hearted man among them that wrought the work of the tabernacle made 10 curtains of the fine twined linen. Made 10 curtains of fine twined linen, and blue and purple and scarlet all mixed within. With cherubims of cunning work made he them. The length of one curtain was 28 cubits, and the breadth of one curtain 4 cubits. The curtains were all of one size, and he coupled the 5 curtains one unto another, and the other 5 curtains he coupled one unto another. And he made loops of blue on the edge of one curtain from the selvage in the coupling. Likewise he made in the uttermost side of another curtain, in the coupling of the second. 50 loops made he in one curtain, and 50 loops made he in the edge of the curtain, which was in the coupling of the second. The loops held one curtain to another. And he made 50 taches of gold, and coupled the curtains one unto another with the taches. So it became one tabernacle, like making a pyramid. The curtains of goat hair. And he made curtains of goat's hair for the tent over the tabernacle. So a tent. 11 curtains he made them. The length of one curtain was 30 cubits, and 4 cubits was the breadth of one curtain. The 11 curtains were of one size, and he coupled 5 curtains by themselves, and 6 curtains by themselves. And he made 50 loops upon the uttermost edge of the curtain in the coupling where they meet. And 50 loops made he upon the edge of the curtain which coupleth the second. So the first and second both got coupled up at the edge. And he made 50 taches of brass to couple the tenth together, that it might be one. The covering of skins. And he made a covering for the tent of rams' skins, dyed red, and the covering of badgers' skins above that. So this right here I may actually need. Alright, hold on. The boards and sockets. And he made boards for the tabernacle of shittim wood standing up. The length of a board was 10 cubits, and the breadth of a board 1 cubit and a half. So 1.5 cubits. One board had 2 tenons, equally distant from another, one from another. Thus did he make for all the boards of the tabernacle. And he made boards for the tabernacle, 20 boards for the south side, southward, and 40 sockets of silver he made under the 20 boards. 2 sockets under one board for his 2 tenons, and 2 sockets under another board for his 2 tenons. And for the other side of the tabernacle, which is toward the north corner, he made 20 boards, and there 40 sockets of silver, 2 sockets under one board, and 2 sockets under another board. And for the sides of the tabernacle westward, he made 6 boards, and 2 boards made he for the corner of the tabernacle, and the 2 sides. And they were coupled beneath, and coupled together at the head thereof to one ring. Thus he did to both of them in both the corners. So thus he did to both of them in both the corners. And there were 8 boards, and their sockets were 16 sockets of silver. Under every board 2 sockets. So the bars. And he made bars of shittim wood, 5 for the boards of the one side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the boards of the other side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the boards of the tabernacle for the sides westward. And he made the middle bar to shoot through the boards from the one end to the other. And he overlaid the boards with gold, and made their rings of gold to be places for the bars, and overlaid the bars with gold. The veil. And he made a veil of blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine twinned linen. With cherubims made he it of cunning work. And he made thereunto 4 pillars of shittim wood, and overlaid them with gold. Their hooks were of gold, and he cast for them 4 sockets of silver. The curtain for the door. And he made an hanging for the tabernacle door of blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine twined linen of needlework, and the 5 pillars of it with their hooks. And he overlaid their chapiters, and their fillets with gold, but their 5 sockets were of brass. This is another important one to keep. Alright, let's go ahead and continue. So right when we get into Leviticus, we'll pause there, because there's more about the ark. So Exodus 37, constructing the ark. And Bezalel made the ark of shittim wood. 2 cubits and a half was the length of it, and 1 cubit and a half the breadth of it, and 1 cubit and a half the height of it. And he overlaid it with pure gold within and without, and made a crown, a circumference of gold to it round about. And he cast for it 4 rings of gold, to be set by the 4 corners of it, even 2 rings upon the one side of it, and 2 rings upon the other side of it, which would be, let's see if I have a picture of it, the tabernacle. Yeah, that can resemble it. Let me see. Alright, let's see if it came up. Nope, it didn't come up yet. Let me make sure that I clicked it. Alright, there we go. So these things right here is where the shittim woods go in. These poles, that would be where the rings are at. 2 rings on that side, 2 rings on this side. Overlaid with gold. And he put the staves into the rings by the sides of the ark to bear the ark. And he made the mercy seat of pure gold. 2 cubits and a half was the length thereof, and 1 cubit and a half the breadth thereof. And he made 2 cherubims of gold, the 2 cherubims of gold, beaten out of 1 piece made he them. On the 2 ends of the mercy seat, 1 cherub on the end of this side, and another cherub on the other end on that side. Out of the mercy seat made he the cherubims on the 2 ends thereof. And the cherubims spread out their wings on high, and covered with their wings over the mercy seat, with their faces one to another, eye to eye, even to the mercy seatward were the faces of the cherubims. As you can tell, they look at each other in the eye, towards each other, or look down towards the covenant. So the table of showbread. And he made the table of shittim wood. 2 cubits was the length thereof, and a cubit the breadth thereof, and a cubit and a half the height thereof. And he overlaid it with pure gold, and made thereunto a crown of gold round about. Also he made thereunto a border of an handbreadth round about, and made a crown of gold for the border thereof round about. And he cast for it 4 rings of gold, and put the rings upon the 4 corners that were in the 4 feet thereof, over against the border where the rings, the places for the staves to bear the table. And he made the staves of shittim wood, and overlaid them with gold to bear the table, to be able to hold the table. So that reminds me of one of these pictures right here. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Hopefully I did save it. Yup, I did. Alright. So you see how the table of bread have the shittim wood with the 4 rings. The altar of incense have the shittar with the altar and the rings. The ark of the covenant had the shittar and the rings. And so is all of the burnt offerings. So right now we're talking about the table of showbread. That's it. And he made the staves of shittim wood, and overlaid them with gold to bear the table. And he made the vessels which were upon the table, his dishes, and his spoons, and his bowls, and his covers to cover all of it, of pure gold. Now the lampstand, which would be this, as we already read. And he made the candlestick of pure gold. Of beaten work made he the candlestick, his shaft and his branch, his bowls, his knops, and his flowers were of the same. And 6 branches going out of the sides thereof, 3 branches of the candlestick out of the one side thereof, and 3 branches of the candlestick out of the other side thereof, 3 bowls made after the fashion of almonds, and 1 branch, a knot and a flower, and 3 bowls made like almonds, and another branch, a knot and a flower. So throughout the 6 branches going out of the candlestick, and it And in the candlestick were 4 bowls made like almonds, his knops and his flowers, and a knop under 2 branches of the same, and a knop under 2 branches of the same, and a knop under 2 branches of the same, according 246, according to the 6 branches going out of it. Their knops and their branches were of the same. All of it was one beaten work of pure gold. And he made him 7 lamps, and his snuffers, and his snuff dishes of pure gold. Of a talent of pure gold made he it, and all the vessels thereof. So now we're moving on to the altar incense, and you see the knots, these little spots on it, and all that stuff. Yeah. Alright, now we're going to the altar of the incense. And he made the incense altar of shittim wood. The length of it was a cubit, and the breadth of it a cubit. It was 4 and 2 cubits was the height of it. The horns thereof were of the same, and he overlaid it with pure gold. Let's go back to the picture. So you see the horns right here? They're horns on the side. They almost look like crowns. And he overlaid it with pure gold, both the top of it and the sides thereof round about, and the horns of it. Also he made unto it a crown of gold round about. And he made 2 rings of gold for it under the crown thereof, by the 2 corners of it, upon the 2 sides thereof, to be places for the staves to bear it withal, to be able to hold it once again. So the rings on the side. And he made the staves of shittim wood, and overlaid them with gold. And he made the holy anointing oil, and the pure incense of sweet spices, according to the work of the apothecary. So I'm going to go ahead and save this chapter 2. I'm going to take out what I need to make one list of what's to be done. We'll probably do a wrap up at the end video. So let's go ahead and move forward. Hold on 1 second. So we have 3 more until we reach Leviticus. Alright, we'll go ahead and pause on this part for right now to take a break. And we'll come back for part 3, where we'll continue on in Exodus and go into Leviticus. Leviticus would be the last section pretty much of how to conduct the rituals and the feasts and all that stuff. And after that, I'm going to tell you the feasts, like all the feasts all in one, when we're supposed to be doing the feast, the day, how do we tell when it's time, how to read the sun, the moon, and the stars and stuff like that to know when it's time. And after today, you'll have no question that much about the feasts and how to celebrate it and things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go, and we'll continue on in the next chapter. Have a wonderful day, y'all. Shalom.